We just finished 20 miles. Stay tuned for our virtual event. Hey, hey.
Welcome and good evening. My name is Pete Hegseth, co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend, and I want to thank you for participating in this important event, Braveheart's Trail to Zero. Now, just over a year ago, I met Megan and many of the extraordinary vets who've been helped by the horses at Bravehearts when the team stopped by Fox and Friends as part of their Trail to Zero. A group of vets rode 20 miles on horseback through the streets of New York City to let the nation know about what is truly an epidemic facing our military. As you know, every day, 20 vets and active service members are lost to suicide. Many men and women who have served our country are struggling more than ever. COVID-19 has only made these hardships worse. After working with the horses at Bravehearts, veterans report benefits including increased self-esteem, trust, as well as decreased PTSD symptoms, anxiety, and depression. Bravehearts is the largest program in the nation using equine-assisted activities and therapies for vets, all at no cost since 2017. As an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran myself, I am in awe of the incredible effort to help veterans overcome their struggles. Last year, when I met some of the vets participating in Trail to Zero, they candidly expressed that working with horses got them through their darkest times. As the vets told me, quite simply, horses work. I'm so grateful that services like this exist to help brave men and women who are struggling and have already sacrificed so much for our great republic. Trail to Zero is designed to commemorate lives lost and raise awareness of the devastating suicide epidemic plaguing our nation. Although the rides may look a little bit different this year, the mission and message remains the same. Many people come to Bravehearts as a last resort when no other therapy has worked. But equine-assisted therapies should not be a last stop or a last hope for veterans. Today, 20 vets ride to continue to bring awareness and offer a solution through horses for veterans. That's why it's so important to let people know that if they're struggling, they're not alone, and that their community cares and equine assistant services can help. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am honored, truly honored, to support Bravehearts and organizations like it, helping and serving our veterans. God bless, and God bless our republic.
Today we're riding to bring awareness to veteran suicide.
Too many veterans choose suicide, and they think that that's their only choice.
There is the statistic of 20 veterans a day that commit suicide in this country, and so we are trying to shed light on that devastating statistic.
A lot of veterans, after they get out, they don't really have anywhere to go, and a lot of them kind of fall off. And it's very prevalent, and we just want to bring awareness to that fact and do what we can to just get as many veterans here and let them know that there's options.
Trail to Zero is the concept of a 20-mile ride. And the reason we picked 20 is because we lose 20 military veterans every day in the United States. These are the men and women who served our country, and we're losing them at an alarming rate. And so our organization provides equine activities.
A lot of us feel when we get out, we don't have direction anymore. And if we didn't have a good experience, we don't have the camaraderie anymore. So Bravehearts really from day one of treating me like a family, and they really made sure that they're like even during the COVID incident, Megan would make sure to text me just to make sure, even if I didn't call, but since we couldn't be there, they would always make sure that we were okay.
We need that brotherhood, sisterhood in the military. That's what you had. And while you're transitioning, you still have veterans around you, and they help each other, and the horses help. So it's a wonderful thing to have the horses help you with healing.
Horses can be very calming, and they can read and sense your emotions on a level unlike other creatures. And just something about caring for something so majestic and so big, but so gentle at the same time, is calming to the spirit.
This helps prevent suicide. I know it does. I've seen it. I've seen people that are at that point and think they can't go forward. And getting to spend time with horses and taking care of horses and working with horses, it has prevented suicides. It's helped heal and get past that moment of darkness into a better future.
We believe that our mission still needs to be heard, especially now more than ever, with people dealing with so much pressure and struggles and challenges in their lives, that I have no doubt that the suicide rates, are unfortunately probably going to be higher this year just because of everything that so many people have been doing. And so we didn't want our rides to stop.
I came from Oregon. I'm one of the out-of-state people. And you're an instant family. You understand each other. We speak the same language. It's just a feeling of coming home when you come to a program like this. And Bravehearts is so welcoming. They are just amazing with how they bring us together.
If you want camaraderie and brotherhood and just, it feels like being back in a unit, that's the one thing, and it's a home afterwards.
So at Bravehearts last year, we served over 1,000 individual veterans in over 16,000 rides and equine sessions. It's all at no cost. We make sure the veterans never pay a penny here. And we also service their family members. So it's a pretty massive amount of people that come through our farms. We have 2 full-time farms that continue on year-round.
I just keep doing this. I keep working with horses, and Bravehearts keeps helping veterans, and they will always be here to help veterans.
We don't want any more suicide. We just want our brothers and sisters to have a better life when they get out.
Greetings to all of you who are part of this meaningful event, Bravehearts Trail to Zero. I'm Second Lady Karen Pence, and I want to honor and thank our veterans and our active duty military, the men and women of the United States who do the very difficult and courageous work of protecting this great country. I want to express our support for Bravehearts organization and its commitment to heal those service members who come back home to us in need. The mission of our United States military to protect our freedom and the mission of Bravehearts to heal our veterans are 2 important missions. We are a military family. I'm the daughter of an Air Force airman born on McConnell Air Force Base in Kansas. And my father-in-law, Ed Pence, served in the U.S. Army. My son is a pilot in the U.S. Marine Corps, and my son-in-law is a pilot in the U.S. Navy. So we know firsthand the commitment required, the sacrifices demanded, just what it means to be a military family. As the lead ambassador for Prevents, the President's roadmap to empower veterans and end a national tragedy of suicide, we are so grateful for the extraordinary work by groups like Bravehearts to address suicide prevention. Bravehearts has been part of the amazing infrastructure in place to support veterans and their families for some 13 years. It is a special organization with a mission to heal our servicemen and women suffering from PTSD and other battle-induced conditions, offering therapy with horses. Bravehearts provides veterans the opportunity to connect with horses through riding, training, and even taming. In its Operation Mustang program, Bravehearts pairs traumatized veterans with soon-to-be tamed wild Mustangs, saving American heroes and an American legacy Mustangs at the same time. In its annual Trail to Zero ride, Bravehearts hosts a 20-mile horseback ride completed by 20 veteran horse teams to bring awareness to the approximately 20 veterans who commit suicide each day. This is where we take a stand to honor our military service members, a stand to support our veterans and their families as they return to us after serving, and a stand to erase the stigma associated with mental health. Thank you for all that you're doing, because your efforts to support our nation's veterans really make a difference. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
I happen to be the chairman of the board of this amazing organization. It's truly a life-saving organization for our veterans. But I'm not only the chairman, I'm also a participant. I'm a Gold Star father. My son, C.J. Boyd, was a Marine killed in August 19th of 2010 in Afghanistan. And Bravehearts first became aware to us through a Gold Star Mother's Retreat from my wife, who then brought us along. And I never knew anything about horses. And all of a sudden, now we became part of the family here, working with the veterans, started volunteering. I bought my own horse here a couple years ago, and his name is CJ's brother, named after my son. And he is one of the finest horses I think that I've ever met. We have such a bond and created this great just togetherness about the two of us, and he's the best therapist that I know of. And I can actually tell you that he did save my life, saved my wife's life, because there's many times when you kind of go to the edge of that cliff every night and you just don't go off, and you get up the next day and you go back and do the same thing. But the horse never judges you. The horse is always looking for a leader, and I knew nothing about horses when I started, but through Bravehearts I have been able to increase my horsemanship and become a much better rider that I knew nothing about before. And this will be my 7th Trail to Zero ride. And I'm very proud of doing that and bringing awareness on behalf of my son and the other veterans, so we can try to help everyone and pay it forward to those veterans who really need to know that there's other things out there, and suicide is not always the way out. And so we're really looking forward to this ride, our 7th ride together, and bringing the awareness out there.
I came to Bravehearts probably about 2 years ago. Before this, I was just kind of bouncing around in California. I didn't have any direction after the military. I had a bad experience. I was just trying to find direction. I came out here, and by the grace of God, I came out here and I was close to the best veterans ranch in the country. And since day one, they've been like family. They've really been there to help me through my issues, give me purpose, really give me a reason to keep going. When I first got here, I didn't think anything was going to come of it. They were really trying to help us. And with the other veterans, it's been a long time since I had the brotherhood that I had in the military, and it's nice to be able to have that small little family feeling again. Went on my first Trail to Zero, the last one to Kentucky, which was just mind-blowing and brought out a lot of my courage, and I used to be really quiet. Those rides are life-changing. I'm here today, I'm out for another ride, which I'm so grateful for. and I'm riding Odie. I love Odie. He's one of the best horses that I haven't met a lot of horses, but he's a good horse. I'm just happy every day I get up just to come here, even if it's just to clean stalls, even if it's just to say hi or just do a registered leading course with the kids. Bravehearts really just pretty much saved my life. I didn't have anything before this. I thought there was no point. I thought there was no coming back from where I was. And even when I kind of fell off the wagon and disappeared for a month or two at a time, they would always check up on me. That means more to me than any words can really portray.
Trail to Zero is the 20-mile horseback ride done by veterans to, it's like a public awareness campaign. We want to get the word out to the public that there is a veteran suicide epidemic. We're losing 20 every single day, which is a crazy number, you know. But most importantly, we want to let veterans know that horse therapy, the equine therapy, really can work, and we are like the living examples of that when we're on the ride. You know, we can share our stories because most of us here have gone through some kind of dark place that brought us here to begin with, and you know, we found some of the answers and tools that we needed through Bravehearts, through the equine therapy, and through reaching out to other veterans, honestly, is part of it. It's a message that is so important that we need to continue to carry on until that number reaches zero.
I found out about it at the Boone County Fair about a year after my wife passed away. You know, I'd been wanting to get involved in something, and I signed up for it, filled out the paperwork, got my physical and everything, and came and started volunteering. I went through certifications for different things that we have to do. Tacking, leading and taking out horses, bringing them in. And also I'm a certified leader, and we also do grooming and tacking. All these things we have to get certified for before we're allowed to do them. And after I'd been here about 3 or 4 months, somebody asked me if I'd be interested in riding on the drill team. We have a drill team here, and I said, well, sure, I'd like to. So I started doing that, and I made it. I've been riding on the drill team since, about August of 2018. And I was lucky enough that year to be able to go to Ohio. We went to Ohio and rode. And they had a big horse show there, and they invited us to ride and to bring awareness to veteran suicide and what veterans are going through. Last year I was asked to go to trail if I wanted to go on Trail to Zero, and I said, yes, it's an honor. There aren't a lot of people to go. And I wasn't expecting to be asked, but I was. And I went. It was a fantastic experience to be able to ride downtown New York through Times Square and all those places where you never thought you'd be able to ride a horse through. It was just unbelievable. The people were fantastic. We came in contact with probably, I'd say maybe 20, 30,000 people. We were passing out stuff on the 20 miles that we rode through New York City. We started in Central Park, rode to the 9/11 Memorial, and then back to Central Park again. And people were very supportive, so we're trying to get the word out to people that know veterans to keep an eye on it. We're not only trying to make people aware of veteran suicide, but also prevention. It's a big thing.
I know the first year when I got chosen, I was at work and I literally just like yelled out loud. Everybody kind of looked at me. I was beyond thrilled. I had been riding for about 2.5 years, so to be chosen at that point really made me proud of myself for the accomplishment of horsemanship. You know, to be able to handle a horse, to be trusted on such a mission, and to be part of that team. You know, Bravehearts is like a family, but the military, you know, you have your little smaller units, so that's how I feel about it. And then this year again, I knew I really wanted to go, and again, I was just completely thrilled I know COVID threw a wrench into everything, and I was really scared that we weren't going to be able to do anything. Yeah, we had to change our plans a little bit, adjust, but the fact is we're still getting the word out, and that's the bottom line. That's what's important, and that's what I want to do. You know, there's other veterans like me who have suffered for so long, and I want to show them, hey, give it a try. It can work. If anybody out there, you know, happens to catch wind of it, sees a post on Facebook or, you know, in the news, on the radio, wherever it is, just please continue to spread the word. It's really important to keep that chain going. You know, because again, there's people out there who aren't going to see it, who never have heard of Brave Hearts or Trail to Zero. And I think so many people out there do know veterans, whether they're friends or family or even coworkers. And you never really know what kind of a dark place a person might be in or be coming from. So mention it. You know, it may spark an interest, and it may save a life, and that's the whole point, is to save lives.
In 2017, I lost my 28-year-old son to drugs, and I found then what the horses really mean to veterans, how important they are to their well-being. I spent 4 months constantly every day with the horses, my wife and I, and it was a life-changing experience. It helped me, brought me back from the brink. I was really in a very dark place. And I realized that those horses were amazing when it came to helping the veterans. On Trail to Zero, I was honored to be one of the first 5 riders. And it was an experience that was never on my bucket list. I'd never ridden a horse. I came from Chicago. I rode the L. But the experience in New York was amazing. The people were phenomenal. They were so supportive. We never anticipated the kind of support we were going to get. I was also on the subsequent rides the following 2 years. And I watched the difference in the awareness of our mission of saving veterans' lives, to give them an alternative to suicide and basically talk in terms of prevention. The opportunity to be around so many people in Washington and New York and in Chicago gave us a really solid feeling that we were making a difference. And it helped me by showing me that that time that we put forward to benefit others was really beneficial for me too. I'm looking forward to this year's ride and to continue our prevention and awareness program.
Horses have endless capabilities of how they can heal and help give us peace and really help us find our best self. And we see that at Brave Hearts all the time, and it's all because of these extraordinary animals.
It's a special relationship. I'm lucky enough again that Batman is my heart horse. I've told Batman more things than I've told a lot of people in my whole life.
They don't judge you, and they're quiet, and they pick up on your body language, and you have a calming effect from them. And I think that's what I like the most, is that companionship.
She's very sensitive to all emotions. And so for me, stress and anxiety, if I come in and I'm having a bad day, she can feel it. She can read everything that I'm feeling before I even know it.
At Brave Hearts, we know that the community that we serve is obviously a huge part of the heart of the program, and our horses equally. We wouldn't have a program if it weren't for our herd. We have right now 46 just extraordinary horses that I think are probably the finest set of horses in the country. They are amazing in their jobs. They each have their own stories. This is Hank, and he's 27 years old. And he has been on every Trail to Zero to date.
This is Miss Velvet. She's a curly-haired Mustang. Her and I rode Trail to Zero last year in downtown Chicago. And one of the interesting things about her is that she was born in captivity. And so some people may say she's not a true Mustang. I'm here to tell you she is absolutely a true Mustang. She's very in tune to what's going on around her.
This is Batman. Batman is one of our Mustangs on site. He's one of 9. Batman's 7 years old, going on 8. And I've had the privilege of working with him for 2, going on 3 years, and bringing him into the system to become one of our therapeutic horses.
This is Dan. Dan is one of our therapy horses here. He's a good boy. He's one of our senior citizens as far as the horses go.
This is Winston. So Winston got the Bravehearts in an interesting way. He sort of has a checkered past. Megan and Reno found him at an auction lot. Actually, he found them. They went to look at another horse, and Winston followed them around the whole time they were there. So they took a chance on him, and he's been paying dividends ever since.
We have quarter horses, and we have draft horses. We have Mustangs that we train. We have horses that come to us from all different parts of the country, and really what we do is just try to, really help set them up for success and really find, their purpose and their job, and they're the heavy lifters of what we do at Bravehearts. They are so innately brilliant at reading intention and finding our holes and helping us discover our greatness.
They teach us to interconnect with ourselves. They teach us to breathe and relax. They're looking into our souls, and they read our personalities, and it helps us make the change in ourselves, and it helps us to go back out into the real world and deal with the everyday.
The coping strategies that you learn for reacting well with horses, things like calming your breathing, monitoring your steps, and just how you feel. That stuff, all of that translates from horseback to the real world.
Being with the horses here, it gives me a great feeling. I feel a lot more at peace when I'm working around with the horses here. I see what it does for the other veterans. The camaraderie is great. It brings us closer together. As veterans, we're not as easy to get next to sometimes, but we have a lot in common here when we're all working with the horses and riding the horses.
It's a lot like coming back from the Army and coming back from combat. This guy doesn't have a job at a ranch anymore, so we had to find a purpose for him. I don't have a job overseas anymore because my body's broken, so I had to find a new purpose. And when I'm interacting with a horse, we kind of find that purpose together. We can train each other to new endeavors, to new purposes, and I find a lot of relief and a lot of solace because I know the big guy's always watching my back. I can look at his ears, and I know I have a big friend, and he's looking out for me, and I know he needs me to look out for him as well.
Circle, and trot on. Just, I love riding because it just makes me feel connected to another animal and to this wonderful creation here. All the stress and all the anxiety just drops away, and all that you have is, this beautiful creature in front of you,
It's something for a veteran who's been through what he's been through, and the horse, especially these Mustangs coming from the wild, are a mirror to our soul. They feel the anxiety, and it teaches us to calm ourselves and become one with the horse and latch on. These horses save lives. we can't talk to a lot of people when we come back, or we spend, 43 years drinking and abusing drugs and alcohol. And if I wouldn't have come to Bravehearts and gone through this process and been given this opportunity and being set up for success with these horses and the people that are here, the family, and all the veterans that are here, we support each other. And with the horses as the central theme, it's helped. It's saved my life.
I've heard it said so many times around here, hey, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for a horse, or I wouldn't be here if it weren't for a farm. And the first time I heard it, I was kind of taken aback. And now, fast forward 10 years, I can't tell you how many times I've heard it. And it seems like to me that it's something that's happening at our farm, and it's something that warrants attention. And if it can happen at our farm, it can happen for even that many more people. And so I don't even think we've scratched the surface as far as what horses are capable of doing.
When you come to the barn, when you come to see these horses, it's as if every weight comes off your shoulders and they just sync up with you. They, you can feel yourself relaxing, you can feel them relaxing. I've been diagnosed with anxiety, and so having this creature that's living and breathing, that trusts you and you trust it, has just been phenomenal at helping me relax.
What me and this horse do, and the way that we connect, and our spirituality, no one can ever take away. And it brings tears, So, I mean, look at this guy, man. 7-year-old Mustang, man, just loving it up.
They're such a metaphor for our life, and you might have a bobble with a horse, you might hit a speed bump, but if you can find your way through it, you'll be a better person in the end, no doubt.
Simple stuff like taking a step back and taking stock of your situation and just being totally aware of what's going on is just a phenomenal thing that horses can do for you.
So Miss Velvet here keeps me honest and helps me through anything I'm going through. If I've just had a bad day, when I come in, it all gets left at the door, and she helps me work through that.
We call them our angels in fur, which is really what they are. They're pretty humble, but we certainly recognize that we wouldn't be where we are if it weren't for Hank and our other members of our herd that are so phenomenal at what they do, and just real professionals and just have hearts to help.
But what we do here, I mean, it's very fulfilling. And it's, at the end of the day, it's just, you look forward to the next day you're going to come out here to the farm and be with the horses and ride and help the other veterans out.
Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us on our ride. My name is Amber, and I'm the Veteran Services Director for Bravehearts. I have the honor of welcoming veterans from all across the country to experience healing horsemanships at our farms. If you are a veteran or know a veteran that might be interested in our services, please check out our website at www.braveheartsriding.org. Give us a call at 815-943-8226 or email us at veterans@braveheartsriding.org. Thank you so much for riding 20 miles with us tonight. Stay tuned for all of our rides coming at you in 2021 as we continue our mission to ride to end veteran suicide.
Hi, my name is Kim Ruwako. I am Vice President of Suicide Prevention and Postvention for the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, or TAPS. Thank you for taking part in today's ride. It's more important than ever to pay attention to our mental health and to combat suicide. Together, we can make a difference. When my husband, Marine Corps Major John Ruwako, died by suicide, he thought he was alone. He thought he was a burden to his friends, his family, his Marines. He was so wrong. He thought the world would be a better place without him, and nothing could be further from the truth. Depression, suicide will lie to you. If you're having thoughts of suicide, if you're thinking about killing yourself, please talk to somebody. Please reach out for help. Please find other ways to cope. Don't wait till that perfect storm day where suicide feels like the only option, because it's not. You're never alone. There is always hope. There is always help. I know it. I've seen it happen with so many of my friends, with so many Marines that were friends of my husband, have gotten help, gotten better, maintained their careers, kept their families together, and lived beautiful lives. Together, we can stay alive. Reach out to your friends. Now more than ever, it's important to connect. A sense of belonging, a sense of purpose will help you get through the hard times. Having friends to lean on, having supports to reach out to will make a difference in your life. Reach out to those people you haven't heard from or you're concerned about, because you may just save a life. If you're having thoughts of suicide, you can talk to people, you can get help, but you can also call the 800 number. It's 1-800-273-TALK. It's 24/7 and it's confidential. If you're grieving a loss of a loved one who served, please call TAPS. We want to help you, and we even have a special program if you've lost a loved one to suicide. We're available 24/7 at 1-800-959-8277 or at taps.org. Now remember, if you've lost a loved one to suicide, remember the life, remember the service, and especially remember the love, because love never dies. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have a beautiful day.